This is Ted at Windy Hill Farm and Handy Horseman YouTube channel. People call me all the time when they talk about my horse bucked me off. What do I do? Well, we're going to talk about it here in this video. Maybe I can help out a little. I'm Ted at Windy Hill Farm. This is my buddy Cotton. He's my friend. He protects our farm at night. And the coyotes and the foxes keeps them away. Well, anyhow, people call me all the time. My horse bucked me off. What do I do? I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I don't want to get hurt. I broke this bone. I broke that bone. All right. First of all, I can tell you that for a horse to buck is a bad habit to get into. And what I do is I don't even get it started if I can help it. So in the early stages of his schooling, we're not even going to let him buck. And we're going to keep him on our in-hand rope. We're going to do a lot of in-hand work with him. And the minute he gets ornery and wants to do that, we correct him. Okay? So, your horse bucked you off. Normally, when a horse bucks, he's trying to communicate with you. He's trying to tell you something. He's in protest of something. So there's a whole long list of things you got to go through to evaluate why is my horse bucking. Well, he can't come out and say, well, don't do that, that hurts. Or he can't say to you verbally, you know, I don't like that. Quit doing that. Or whatever. You're off balance, whatever. So what he's got to do is protest through his behavior. Well, he might warn you a little bit ahead of time. He might ring his tail. He might switch his ears. He might act like he's a little afraid. He might act a little uncertain. And then next thing you know, pow, you're not listening and you got bucked off. You got to think about that poor horse has probably had 5 people tell him to do the same thing 5 different ways in his life. So here you are getting on today and you're asking him totally different. And he's thinking to himself in his mind, these people have lost their mind. You know, the last guy wanted to do it this way. Now this guy wants to do it that way. And then this guy, he's punishing me for doing what I think's right and blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. I pity the poor horses, what they go through of their confusion and just frustration probably that they feel. All right. So step 1 is eliminate confusion. 2, eliminate pain. Make sure there's no pain. Check his teeth, make sure his bit's not pinching him, make sure your saddle fits, make sure his feet are trimmed evenly, make sure he doesn't have any back pain, where you can do an examination and go down his back with your fingers. And if you see that horse twitch or if you see him react, it tells us he's got a little pain going on. All right. Sometimes with the geldings, their sheath hasn't been cleaned. Well, you get a bean in that urinary tract, which backs up into his kidneys, and he gets a kidney infection. And there you are, sitting up on top of his infected kidneys, and it hurts. The mares, they get a uterus infection. They get their ovaries infected. There you are, sitting on top of a place that hurts. And he's switching his tail, and he's trying to say, no, don't get off there. That hurts, all right? Then you're not listening, and next thing you know, you get bucked off. Or your saddle doesn't fit. It's another reason. Poor saddle fit is huge. You know, we can get into saddle fitting, but I will tell you this right now. If you put that saddle on that back and it's popped up and it's not matching the angles on his shoulder and he's switching his ears and he's acting like he doesn't like it, and when you sit up there and you see his ears going like that, I'm telling you, you don't need a European saddle fitter to advise you on this matter. It doesn't fit. He's telling you, I don't like it. Okay? Now you put that saddle up on his back, it hits his back like it belongs there. You get up there and your horse's ears are forward and he's alert and he's responsive and we're getting things done. Okay, we're feeling okay. And you know, I'll tell you something about the bucking. Trust your instincts. You know, God gave you instincts just like he did those animals right there. And you trust your instincts. And if you don't feel safe, you're not, okay? So if you get up there and you say, you know what, this doesn't feel right. I just don't like this. You know, like the Indians say, bad medicine. Okay, get off, all right? And do some in-hand work with your horse and get your horse to where he invites you to ride him. So if you go out there to get on your horse I mean, you should feel the invitation to get on his back. And some days you go out there and you just tell how he's acting. He's not really inviting you to ride. So we're going to do a little hand work. Watch some of my other videos about that, of how to prepare your horse to ride. And there's a whole lot to that. That's how you learn to not get hurt and not to get in a pickle out here doing this. That you got to learn to be receptive and very, very alert to your environment. So my advice to you on bucking is to try to solve the problem before it gets there, okay? So big problems usually start out as little problems, and he's going to give you little signals and little warnings before he does that, before he bucks. So remember, solve little problems before they become big problems. Now, if he bucks, how do we solve that after he's bucked? Well, what I recommend you do is to get off your horse, don't get on his back, and do like Eddie's doing right there. Look here, Brittany. See what Eddie's doing? He's taking his horse around and he's bending him. And he's getting him soft. And he's getting that horse responding to softness. And he's watching his eye and he's watching his ears and he's watching everything. Okay? So, all right, come on back. And I can't overemphasize the value to in-hand work with your horse. And if you're not humble enough to do in-hand work with your horse, and if you're not humble enough to spend the time with him to get him to where he invites you to ride, you might deserve to get bucked off. I hope this video's been helpful. I got lots more to talk about this subject, but I want to keep my videos short. But that's a good bunch of information to get you started. That's something I've had to learn the hard way. Subscribe to our channel, Handy Horseman. Hit that subscribe button up there and hit the little bell next to it, and you'll get notifications when we post our videos. And I really hope that this is helpful. We're very humble and very grateful for the loyal folks that we have watching these videos. And truly, our heart's in the right place. We want to help you guys out there become better horsemen, and we want you to be handy. So with that, this is Ted.